live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Some state line cities are still under snow emergencies. We'll have a recap of last night's winter storm, as well as some tips you can do to help first responders.
Going outside for long extreme times might not be recommended, so taking some time away, coming back in a little bit more frequently.
Health experts weigh in on how to keep your little ones safe as temperatures drop down low. Good evening, I'm Alexis Carpello. Thanks for joining us tonight. Mother Nature dropped a few inches of snow across the state line overnight. We're going to head back over to the Weather Center right now with meteorologist Jordan Wolf joins us again to give us a recap of those snow totals.
Yeah, that's right, Alexis. We did get that snow last night. Here are the remnants of that still progressing on through the Ohio Valley here tonight into tomorrow. That's the first of two clipper systems that are going to impact us, but the totals from that first one, we were forecasted between 2 and 4 inches last night, and pretty much everywhere across the state line and our viewing area did fall within that range, within 2 to 4. A couple areas toward the south ended up just a little bit lower than that, but overall, we did see some pretty hefty conditions, especially to the north. Janesville 3.9 inches, Mount Carroll 2 inches. Here at Rockford we did get 2.3 inches. So right around that same area in that range for most of us across the state line. That's the first, again, of two weather systems. The first one coming through last night into early this morning brought us some steady snow and 2 to 4 inches. And then tonight into tomorrow is the second one that'll provide a pretty sloppy morning commute. The National Weather Service has issued that winter weather advisory. I'll bring you all the details on that storm system coming up in my full forecast a little later.
All right, thanks, Jordan. A reminder, the city of Rockford is under a snow emergency, which means odd and even parking is in effect. Cars should be parked on the odd side. That way, plow drivers have enough space to clear residential streets. City Hall says if you don't park on the correct side of the road, you could get a ticket and fine. We have a list of all of the state line snow emergencies on our First Warn Weather app. It's free to download for Apple or Android. And just another reminder, as you plan to head out to shovel snow off your driveway and sidewalk, local firefighters hope you clear the area around fire hydrants too. First responders tell us it could protect more than just you and your family if hydrants aren't clear of snow. Firefighters have to do it. That takes precious time away from emergencies. From snow to low temperatures, health experts are offering tips to keep kids safe this winter. Rachel Perry joins us now in studio. Rachel, what can parents do to protect their little ones?
Alexis, just like Jordan said, temperatures in our area could reach as low as -8 this week. That's prompting experts at UW Health to offer tips for families in the state line. They say not only are coats, hats, and gloves important, they also recommend helmets for winter sports and plenty of water. As for the really little ones, they offer tips for keeping them safe, both at bedtime and on car rides, and stress the importance of keeping extra items out of the crib and instead offering an alternative.
Definitely if they're sleeping in their crib, which they should be, alone on their back. With the winter temperatures coming and obviously it getting cold at night, we would recommend not using any blankets or pillows or additional items in that space, that environment. Instead, we would really encourage a sleep sack for that infant, so making sure that that environment is still empty but yet warm enough for that child.
Ethan also recommends putting a child's car seat harness on first with a light jacket underneath and then a warmer coat on top to ensure the harness fits properly. Alexis?
Well, thanks for those tips, Rachel. The situation between Russia and Ukraine is intensifying, and American officials are monitoring events closely as the world fears Russia will attack Ukraine imminently. Alexandra Lamone has the details, and she's keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
Good evening. The British government says it has intelligence that Russia is plotting to overthrow the government in Ukraine and replace it with leaders who are supportive of the Kremlin.
We've been warning about just this kind of tactic for weeks.
More than 120,000 Russian troops are stationed along Ukraine's border. On CNN's State of the Union, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the United States will not tolerate any Russian forces entering Ukraine.
That would trigger a swift, a severe, and a united response from us and from Europe.
American officials say a Russian invasion of Ukraine would be the most serious threat to global peace since World War II.
If he's able to go into Ukraine and there's very little pushback from the United States or from NATO, it allows him to move into other countries in Eastern Europe.
While urging diplomacy, the U.S. says NATO will not meet Russian demands to ban Ukraine from future membership. Russia's other demands include that NATO pull back forces from Eastern Europe. The Kremlin denies it's plotting to overthrow Ukraine's leader. Here at home, some like Congressman Michael McCall say the U.S. shouldn't wait to find out.
It's getting very aggressive. The noose is tightening around Ukraine. President Zelensky, as you mentioned, said he wants the sanctions now.
But Secretary Blinken says the U.S. would lose leverage if sanctions are implemented too soon. And the Biden administration says it is already acting by sending aid to Ukraine. That includes about $200 million worth of what's called lethal aid or military equipment that Ukraine has just received. In Washington, Alexandra Limon.
A medical miracle for one Chicago family. Doctors have successfully separated their conjoined twins. Jenna Barnes shares the family's story.
It was supposed to be a typical appointment.
They just wanted us to come in, get routine heartbeat checks, and the heartbeat checks would just show a healthy heartbeat.
But it was then, in July 2020, Maggie and Dom Altabelli learned they were expecting twins, conjoined twins.
How serious is this? And the doctor said, do your research, make sure you see what all's in store for you, because this is a very long journey. And they weren't lying.
The Altabellis started looking for doctors who specialize in this rarity. Conjoined twins occur in 1 out of every 50,000 births.
We got to dedicate our life to bringing these girls into the world.
The couple found their team at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and moved from Chicago to Pennsylvania before delivery day.
And you try to find some sense of what that moment might be, but you really don't know until you get to it, and you see them laying there, and it is so quickly forgetting they were conjoined. I just looked at them as, these are our girls.
I just love their little noises. I could hear little noises from them.
Addie and Lily were born in November 2020, joined at the chest and abdomen. They spent 11 months in intensive care, getting stronger for surgery.
Are you holding yourself up, girls? Go for it. You got it, Lil.
Oh, she's trying.
While their team of dozens of doctors and nurses studied and practiced, even creating 3D models of the girls to visualize their anatomy.
Once we have separation, we'll move to another table.
Surgery day came last October. 10 hours spent separating the sisters, then rebuilding each girl's chest and abdominal wall. It was a success.
All right, here we go. Family video. Hi.
The Altabelli family of 4 moved back to Chicago last month.
Right. Hello.
The twins' first time at home.
There's so much good in the world. And that's something with this experience that I know Maggie and I are really thankful for, is we got to see the best in the world. They've already given us, more love than we probably could have ever imagined. So we hope that they could spread that love throughout the world.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
We had snow last night and into the early part of this morning. We have more snow on the way tonight into tomorrow. National Weather Service has issued once again a winter weather advisory for the counties here highlighted in purple off to the eastern part of our viewing area. I do think that some more counties might be in line to be issued with that advisory as well into tomorrow morning. That lasts from 3 a.m. tonight into noon tomorrow. On our satellite radar here, we do see some of that sunshine beginning to work its way in over the rest of today. We see those cloud cover and some of those snow showers beginning to work their way in as well. We are seeing a little bit more of a zoomed out. We see that Clipper system here. Compare that to the Clipper system off to our south and to our east. If we look at our future cast, we're really going to see those snow showers beginning to work their way in. Starting around 10 o'clock tonight is when we expect most of those to start entering the viewing area, really pick up into the overnight hours, right around in the early part, midnight, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. That's when I expect some of those heavier bands of snow to be falling through the area. Luckily, that's during the overnight hours, similar to what we had last night. But the downside is with these, they last a little bit longer, so we're still dealing with those heavier snow showers into the later part of the morning as well. So that'll impact our morning commute right around 8 o'clock here. Those stay holding on to those snow showers until the later part of the morning, close to noon. That's when that advisory expires, so definitely could see some slick conditions into the afternoon tomorrow, depending on how quickly some of those roads get cleared. Then we clear out into the night on Monday into Tuesday morning. That allows our temperatures to significantly drop down into the later part of the week. Now we time out this second clipper here. This one really picks up a little bit later than compared to the first one. Our most impactful time starting around 2 o'clock in the morning, lasting through the early part of the commute tomorrow. That's when we're going to have some of those issues with snow-covered roads, some blowing and drifting, and this one lasts a little bit longer, so you're definitely going to have some issues as you head out the door tomorrow morning with some of that snow that we'll be dealing with. Our morning commute, we do have those impacts lasting probably close to noon. That's when that snow tapers off, but we still be dealing with some of those snow-covered roads with blowing and drifting potentially possible there into the afternoon as well, with that snow being of similar nature in the light and fluffy that we have right now. Now, as far as our totals are concerned, I do think that we'll stay a little bit lower than what we had as far as last night. I do think we'll still get close to 2 inches or 3 inches for probably most of the viewing area, maybe a little bit less than that, but I do think overall more widespread could see closer to 2 or 3 inches. Where we are seeing right now, some of those snow-covered roads still present on our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera in Beloit. That's only going to get worse tomorrow morning with this impending snow into the rest of the day. Temperatures right now still well below freezing, 11 degrees here in Rockford. Single digits in some locations as well. Overnight tonight, get down to 10, so not much cooler. We'll warm up throughout the night with that snow chances we'll be dealing with. Tomorrow, temperatures get up to 27 with those snow holding on toward noon. And then we have that cold returning toward the middle part of the week. Tuesday and Wednesday is really going to be the deal that we'll be having those much colder temperatures over those few days there. And then we warm up toward the ending part of the week. Over our 7-day forecast here, we really see those chances for snow showers tomorrow morning. Much colder temperatures for Tuesday, Wednesday. Look at that, -8. There we have, and then 20s for the end of the week with another chance for snow on Thursday.
Now sports with David Greenberg.
Well, the writing was on the wall. The hopes were sky high for Packer fans coming into the postseason, having secured yet another playoff bye and the #1 overall seed in the NFC. Super Bowl banners were being prepped, but as we saw last night, just not meant to be. With the loss, Aaron Rodgers now moves to 0-4 in his career playoff matchups with his hometown team, the 49ers. At the age of 38 years old, Rodgers, he's not getting any younger. I think everyone kind of realized this was probably his and the Packers' best shot at a second Super Bowl for him. After all that went on this past off season with Rodgers, there's a very real possibility he's wearing a different jersey next year if he decides to even wear a jersey at all.
You know, I'm going to take some time and have conversations with the folks around here, take some time away and make a decision. You know, I'm thankful for the guys in the locker room, for the friendships, for the coaches. I think this thing is definitely going to look different moving forward in Green Bay. There's a lot of decisions, a lot of guys with opportunities. So it'll be interesting to see what things look like moving forward.
Well, waking up today, understandably, a lot of Packer fans frustrated with Matt LaFleur, just his 3rd season as head coach. LaFleur has an unprecedented 39-10 regular season record, but in the postseason, just 2-3 now. So the big question, what's holding them back? Right out of the gate, looked like the Packers were on their way to another blowout after A.J. Dillon scored on Green Bay's first drive. Don't want to take anything away from the 49ers defense because they are as good and talented as any team in the league, but where were the in-game adjustments? They simply had no answer as the game went on. And on the flip side, the Niners defense made those same adjustments. Everyone remembers his decision to kick a field goal against Tampa in the NFC Championship game last year. So it begs the question, can he win the big game?
Obviously, I didn't do enough to get our team prepared to win a football game. And certainly when we only scored 10 points offensively, I put that all on myself. I got to be better than that. I didn't put our guys in position to make enough plays. And I take that very personally. I'm going to do everything in my power to improve upon that because scoring 10 points is not going to get it done.
And lastly, the real final big question is about Davante Adams and his future as a free agent this offseason. He unquestionably one of, if not the best receivers in football right now, and both Rodgers and Adams make each other better. But with Rodgers' decision whether to return, retire, or choose to sign somewhere else, Adams has quite a lot of uncertainty as well. There are 2 more games across the league today. This was the first down in Tampa. This one just went final literally seconds ago. The Rams hit a big play to Cooper Kupp, set up a game-winning field goal, 30-27. And then at 5:30, the Bills going to kick off with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Jordan's back with one last look at our forecast, and it looks like we can expect some more snow.
Yeah, we're definitely expecting more snow. We had that snow last night. More snow on the way tonight and tomorrow morning. Going to give us a sloppy morning commute. Our First Warn Interactive radar from Rockford Auto Glass just showing some of those lake effect snow showers right now, and just showing that clipper beginning to move through Iowa over the next few hours in the overnight. That's when it's going to move through and bring us some snow into tomorrow morning. I do think that another 2 inches is pretty widely expected across the viewing area. Going to definitely see some late morning commute issues because this is a slightly later time frame for this storm, so we could see that. And then we turn our temperatures down toward 9 and 10 on Tuesday, Wednesday, -8 for the temperature below, and then we get toward a little bit warmer toward the end of the week and weekend.
Well, thanks for making us your home team. We'll see you at 10.